Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Philosophical of the Rap Review Room. Welcome, 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 everybody. If you are an up and coming artist, right, and you want your music or album reviewed here on this channel, definitely take a look at following me on Instagram. Send me a DM, send me an email if you're an up and coming artist. Also follow me on TikTok, where you can also contact me there to have your song reviewed here. As I said, if you're an up and coming artist, you want your song or album reviewed here, right on this channel, definitely send me a follow on Instagram, TikTok, or send me an email. I first want to say I appreciate you guys for the support you've done on this channel. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. So, uh, we're here to talk about my thoughts on the Eminem latest album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grâce, right? Uh, a couple things I want to mention, right? Um, I will say that his this album right here is his best work in in a long time, right? Now we can say that he hasn't put out a lot of music lately. We can say that he doesn't put out an album. It's been a long time since he's put out an album, but I will say this current project is better than his last projects, right? Um, it's better than Music to Be Murdered By, right? And I even think he came out deluxe version aside. B, it's better than that. It's better than that album. It's definitely better than Kamikaze. Um, Revival, uh, well, that's debatable. And Marshall Mathers LP is also debatable, right? But I will say on this project, Eminem does sound refreshed. I have some things, I have some thoughts that I kind of want to speak on today about it. So I first want to talk about some notable lyrics on this album that, I have some questions, I have some thoughts, but also, man, I was just like, man, it really resonated with me. All right, the first one is, Fuel. I will say right now, Fuel is my Jid on this song is my favorite feature on the whole album. Period. I mean, that's not saying much, but the whole album. But just just basically the lyrics he's saying on here. I just and second of all, I feel like he kind of destroyed Eminem on his own track, right? In my pocket, the rocket like Kellen Mond. Mama told me the power was in the tongue, but it probably ain't powerful as a gun. All of you little cowards get devoured of giving out flowers to anyone. Man, man. Um, I've always been a fan of Jid. I've liked his last project. Shout out if you guys want me to review his last project, which was an amazing project. Another notable lyrics. I've been spending some time with the minister because the spending and still sinning in the city of God, and his sinister try to pray and repent in a synagogue or a mosque, a temple, or church. Man, man, that to me is like it's he killed this. He killed this verse. This is my favorite feature on the whole album. Eminem, I will say Eminem on this track. I feel like Jid kind of destroyed him on his own track. But in terms of what he said on this verse, I'm left. I'm like a. I didn't like the line. I'm a RAPER. I didn't like that line. I don't like it. I did not like the line. I got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? A shot at Diddy. And I'm gonna speak on this in a few minutes, right? R.I.P. Rest in peace, Biggie. As you can hear, you hear the Diddy and the Biggie line. Okay, and Pac, both of y'all should be living, and that references back because Eminem did some posthumous work with Tupac, and that resonated with me. Um, but I ain't trying to beef with him because he might put a hit on me like Keith did him. Keith D did him, and that's the only way you're gonna be killing me. So this is the problem. This is the problem I have with this album, right? And sometimes I said this on a Houdini review that I have with Eminem, right? I feel like sometimes on great tracks he tends to take the cringe, and this is kind of like we all say sometimes in the social media where we try to make references to certain things to get attention. I feel like this is attention seeking lyrics that I just feel like after not hearing Eminem for some time, that uh, I understand this is his formula. This is what he likes to do. Like he wants the attention. He wants to get noticed. He tries to put himself in a position where he's the center of attention and make an acknowledgement to it. But again, man, this is just the cringe things. I'm just like, man, you're on a after that great verse from Jid, and this is what we get. Right? It's almost like cringe and I won't say creepy, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just it's laughable, it's funny, it's cool, it's comedy, but man, I wanted a little more, man. After hearing that, if it was me, if after hearing that Jid verse, I just feel like this to me is kind of like it's funny. It's just I don't know. I didn't take that very well, right? Um, and that goes along with some of the tracks on this project. That these are the type of lyrics that I got from him on these tracks, and to me, it's kind of an an underline to where like Eminem, I wanted something a little different, a little bit refreshing from him, right? And I did get that on some tracks that I'm going to speak about in a few minutes, but there were some other tracks. This is the type of lyrics that I got, right? On especially on a track with a great verse from Jid. Another track that I really loved, and I reviewed on this channel. Toby was an amazing track, but Baby Tron came with it. Big Sean came with it. And I felt this was, and I'll even say potentially, and it could be, right, in my opinion, that this is the best verse on this album for Eminem, hands down, right? And so let's read what it says. Let's read what it says here. Toby Maguire got bit by a spider. Must have been bit. I must have been bit by a goat. I used to dream as a kid what had grown up to be one. I hope that I inspire for hope. For you to get what you deserve from old Spitfire, I was just flying coach. So when I say this because these are the lines I feel like I wanted from Eminem on this album. I wanted a little bit more from this album, right? Um, and I felt like it wasn't enough of this versus I was getting a lot of the next bars of lyrics on this, right? This is what I mean when some of the lyrics that I get, you know. Um, Once again, I feel like we're getting cringe lyrics. We're getting, eye popping attention type lyrics, right? Again, um, we all know. Again, I'll just reference back to what I was just speaking about. We all know the whole Diddy situation. It's not cool. It's not good. It's cringe. Everybody knows it. But I feel like when Eminem does it, it's so I can't tell if he's serious or not. And this is another example of he tends to interject his political views, which we don't have any understanding on or how he feels about it. And I wish he would project that a little bit more in his lyrics, right? Especially on this album. That it's just, it comes off as like cringe and halfway corny and funny to me. And this is what it turns me off of Eminem sometimes. And I'll speak on some songs that I agreed with and liked it, but on the other hand, did not like from Eminem. And Candace, oh, I ain't mad at you. I ain't gonna throw the fact, forget she was black back at her. Laugh at her when them crackers she's backing after her back is turned in a cute Magna hat with a brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Or say that this MAGA dirt bag in a skirt, right? Again, again, man, it's like I'm not a political guy. I don't I don't I know their sides and I know everybody has an opinion on politics and things like that. But sometimes, man, when you start to really put these lyrics in music, especially an artist like Eminem, who has been known to be kind of this non-serious but serious, considered the best lyricist out right now, well, of our generation. And it's always this thing of he can say a lot of things because he's considered a white rapper, right? A white rapper. And it's like these are lyrics where I feel like this is the response that even myself and a lot of people, and let me know if I'm wrong in this, that people are gonna say, "Oh, it's just him having fun," right? Oh, it's just him. It's not gonna be as much backlash on him for saying these type of lyrics. Do I want to hear it? Do I agree with it? No. Do I feel like it was needed? No. But that's my opinion. In my opinion, I feel like there's far more of this than letting us in to Eminem, right? Over the past X amount of years that we haven't heard a project from him, right? And to me, because I understand why he's doing it for the attention, but come on, bro. I mean, you got over 10 plus albums, right? And I know this has been the formula for Eminem. It's been the formula for him, and I get it. I understand it, right? But is it needed? No, right? And that's just in my opinion. So let's get to some of the tracks I did like, right? Let's get to some of the tracks I did like. I loved Renaissance. The way he came in, that intro was great. I loved Habits. I felt like that was kind of the intro of allowing us in to Eminem, and I like that track. I loved it. I loved it. I loved Houdini. We reviewed that here. As I said, Toby, I love that verse. I feel like he gave us little bits and pieces of Eminem. Fuel, Jid verse, best feature on the album. I mean, I'll even say that's probably top top verse, probably possibly on the album. Jid is a beast. Jid is on next level. I can't wait to his album, and I bet you Eminem is on that album. Um, Guilty Conscious too was a good track. I thought it was a little long, but I still enjoyed that track. I understood it. I got it. Um, Head Honcho. Head Honcho was Easy Mill. Is somebody I've never heard from before. I know that he is one of Eminem's artists. Let me know if you guys want me to kind of review his music, what he's about. Let me know that. I think he did a dope verse. Even Eminem's verse in that track was very good. Temporary, Temporary, and Somebody Save Me. I love those tracks. I love those tracks. His dedication to his daughter Haley. I wish I got a little more from that. Um, I love those tracks. So as it says, love Renaissance, Habits, Houdini, Toby, Fuel, the Jidverse, Guilty Conscious 2, Head Honcho, Temporary, and Somebody Save Me. So let's get to the tracks I did not necessarily agree with. Right? All right. So Lucifer to me, man, is I know I've referenced that um his verse in that, his bars in that track. I just felt like, man, it was very cringe. I understood where he was trying to go to. I feel like I wanted more from him. I wanted a little bit more from him. Um it's just for me, it's just didn't do it for me. It didn't do it. Fuel M's verse to me was just way too. I feel like, and that could be a catch 22 after hearing Jid's verse, but on Eminem's technical ability and how he raps and some of his lyricism, I think he could have came through. So I feel like his verse on Fuel was a little bit disappointing. Bad One was not a good track at all. I'm sorry. Road Rage was not a great track. Antichrist was not a great track. Um, you know, Brand New Dance was not a great track either. I did not like that track at all. Evil, I just felt I did not like his flow in that track. I felt like it was a little cringe again. And his third verse, I feel like he was just kind of rushing through it. It wasn't a great third verse. And Lucifer again um, was again kind of just a little bit cringe and corny to me. I will say, as far as my final thoughts on this project, uh, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grâce is his best album in years. Yes. That's not saying much, right? Um, I will say some of the tracks he does sound refreshed. Like I said, I love the Toby verse. I love Houdini. I love Fuel as a song. Just hearing Jid's verse, Eminem's verse to me was just okay. Um, I don't think this album has great replay value. I don't think it's Eminem's. I've had a short as far as his, in my opinion, his best albums. I don't think. I think this is better than his worst albums, of course, but I just feel like it's kind of in the middle tier. I don't see myself to say, okay, out of the top three albums that I like of Eminem, that I'm gonna replace this album with that with the top three that I heard. I still go back and listen to his albums. I feel like I felt a little more from Eminem. I felt it had a little bit more impact. Eminem has always been formulaic as far as some of his cringe content and corniness, but I feel like it was a little bit rushed on this album. I feel like it was a little bit forced on this album. I like the personal tracks. I feel like Eminem, he could have cut out a little bit of the 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 bloat, the skits. Um, I feel like the skits were. I understand why he put it in there. 18 tracks. I feel like I could have got what I needed if it was cut down to maybe 13 to 14 tracks, um, minus some of the cringe and corny bars on some of these verses. Um, my review for this album, I would say I'm giving it a strong 6.5 to a light 7. Um, because I did like some of the deep tracks. I think Jid killed this. I love Habits. I love Renaissance. Um, m- I felt like a lot of the corny content and cringe content to me is Eminem. I feel like it was forced. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of it. I feel like it was more on this album than letting me into how Eminem really is, who he is, right? Um, and I understand that, man. Of course, the death of Slim Shady, I get it, right? But 6 out of 6.5 to a light 7. So I'm thinking probably if I had to really pick a number, probably 6.5 to 6.75, right? So let me know what y'all thoughts are. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to the Rap Review Room. If you're an up and coming artist, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, send me an email if you want your song or album reviewed here. I'm Philosophical, y'all, from the Rap Review Room. I'm out, y'all. Peace.